Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so you friends see it. Thank you.
Bill O'Reilly discovers the easy way to silence Fredrica Wilson and expose her for fraud she really is. Bill O'Reilly does not suffer fools. He may be a lot of things, but dishonest is not one of them. And he knows Trump well. They go back years. So if anyone would know the true story behind the Fredrica Wilson media puppet show, it would be Bill. And speaking to Newsmax, Bill blew the lid of the whole scam. For that is what it was all along, one big scam. The thing that disturbs me is Congresswoman Wilson, O'Reilly started, they were given a 24-hour day. The family of the fallen Army Sgt. David Johnson, who was a Green Beret, was given 24-hour notice that President Trump would call. They gave that information to Congresswoman Wilson, who is an anti-Trump hater and has been from the jump. She knew the call was coming in. She was in the car when President Trump reached the widow, Myeshia Johnson, 24 years old. Then, she goes out on CNN and says, "The president insulted Mrs. Johnson, made her cry. This looks to me to be a setup." It really does. Correct. It was a setup from the get-go. Trump spoke about calling families and Fredrica decided to exploit what she knew was coming for political gain. To slander Trump, to raise her stature with the Democrats. To get the donations, to get the anti-Trump accolades, to get famous. Well, it worked, but not the way she hoped. Sarah Huckabee Sanders came out swinging, crushed her yesterday. But the media wolves were not satisfied, so General Kelly came out and told them all to cut it out and disgraced Wilson, saying we must leave some things sacred, like the call from a president to a grieving widow. And how dare she politicize it? Speaking of Trump, Bill said, "I know he respects military people, so why on earth would a sitting president call a widow, just lost her husband in Niger, and insult her? It's impossible. It's inconceivable." There, the media, taking Ms. Wilson's word for it. They're not taking General Kelly's word for it, who says there wasn't anything inappropriate. They're taking Wilson's. Why? Because they hate Trump. Everybody knows what the game is. Said but true. Share this to all former corners of the globe so the truth about Fredrica Wilson and her media conspirators gets out. Trump knocks Chuck Schumer off high horse with brilliant move on tax cuts. This is big. For so many reasons. First, Chuck Schumer is done. Over. His 60-vote Senate blockade has just been reduced to rubble. On the most important issue of the day, and the one most Americans really care about, taxes. We pay too much because the Democrats created in any state, and there is only one way to wean the government off our taxes. Tax reform, and a major, once-in-a-lifetime tax reform, at that. And Chuck Schumer was blocking it and thought he could continue his obstruction and try to blackmail Trump. Didn't work. Because Trump, with a huge assist from Mitch McConnell, finally, just outplayed Chuck Schumer. Did the old end around on crying Chuck and knocked him right off his high horse with one brilliant move. Trump has been tough on Mitch because he was not using his leverage properly. Looks like he got the message, better late than never. Mitch was able to get this passed through reconciliation, which is a complicated process but allows the GOP to avoid Chuck Schumer's 60-vote blockade. Chuck Schumer thought he had power. Not anymore. The budget passed late last night, 51-49. We got 0 Democrat votes with only Rand Paul. He will vote for tax cuts, voting against. Sorry, Charlie. You no longer matter, so dab the tears from your eyes and start helping Trump or not. We don't care, we don't need you anymore. Share this everywhere to send Chuck a message that he is finished. James Woods just destroyed this rodeo clown and rant that'll get her kicked out of Washington. James Woods went out on Twitter this morning to attack the liberal lunatic Rep. Wilson, and it is amazing. This is why we love James Woods. Obviously, Fredrica Wilson wants some attention, so James Woods gave her some. Wilson even called herself a rock star over the scandal. She is sick. James Woods set her straight. James Woods called Wilson a parasitic rodeo clown. That's a perfect name for her. Let's get this nickname to stick. She wants to be famous so bad. Let's make her famous. Share this article with 3 Trump voters that you know and describe Wilson in 2 words below in the comments. Let's show this cretin that we are tired of all the Democratic lies about our president. Thanks for reading. CIA director just came forward and released Trump's explosive plan to destroy North Korea. The United States needs to be ready because Kim Jong-un's regime is on the cusp of getting a nuclear missile that can strike the U.S., says the CIA director Mike Pompeo this Thursday. They're close enough now in their capabilities that from a U.S. policy perspective we ought to behave as if we are on the cusp of them achieving that objective, Pompeo said. That's not good. Pompeo said that he has kept close tabs on the North Korea program and it is getting scarier. But when you're now talking about months, our capacity to understand that at a detailed level is in some sense irrelevant, Pompeo said. The president's made it very clear. He's prepared to ensure that Kim Jong-un doesn't have the capacity to hold America at risk. By military force if necessary. Share this if you are praying for Trump to keep us safe in these dark times. We need to come together as a country and fight the enemy across the Pacific. Early this morning, Trump hit Fredrica Wilson with his secret weapon. She's panicking. Trump just lashed out at wacky congressman for secretly listening to his call to a Gold Star family. Trump has now continued to face backlash over his comments that he made on Tuesday. This woman has been attacking our president non-stop and it is very sad. Earlier, Trump said that Wilson totally fabricated what I said to the wife of a soldier who died in action, and I have proof. Then everyone realized something much bigger about Fredrica Wilson. Get ready to see this. Fredrica Wilson has been totally compromised by the Imran scandal, according to Daily Caller. Her online accounts were managed by Imran himself and have been compromised as part of the investigation. This means that she is doing all this to distract from the fact that she has been hacked by a foreign power. It just goes to show how terrible the people opposing Trump are at their jobs. Instead of remembering the fallen, Democrats are using this moment to attack our president. Share this if you are angry that Fredrica Wilson has turned this soldier's death into a chance to attack our president. The deaths of our troops should not be a political tool. One day after John Kelly Rector, Fredrica Wilson just announced something insane. It's been a high-drama week for the Trump administration. After calling the families of 4 soldiers that were tragically killed in Niger, President Trump received flack from Florida Representative Fredrica Wilson for being insensitive. Wilson claimed President Trump told the widow that her late husband knew what he signed up for. But when it happens, it hurts anyway. The president denies the claim, and on Thursday his chief of staff John Kelly gave an emotional speech defending the president, saying he was stunned and heartbroken by Wilson's accusations. Immediately afterward, Wilson told reporters at Politico that John Kelly's trying to keep his job. He will say anything. After these comments set off another media firestorm, Wilson did the unbelievable: she finally backed down. A spokesperson said on her behalf. The Congresswoman will not be making any further comment on the issue because the focus should be on helping a grieving widow and family heal, not on her or Donald Trump. I wonder where that logic was earlier this week before she set off this whole imbroglio. Either way, it's great that this ridiculous hat-wearing woman can step down and let these heartbroken families grieve in peace. HT Washington Examiner. After kneeling for national anthem, major NFL star just got kicked to the curb. The NFL has a problem. Its players are more and more disrespectful. Major flag kneeler Marshawn Lynch was ejected from a Raiders game against the Chiefs today after hitting an official. Lynch fought with a referee. You can watch it in this video going viral below. The Chiefs and the Raiders got into a scuffle after the three Chiefs landed on Derek Carr. The Raiders' offensive line immediately came to Carr's defense. According to ESPN's Kevin Seifert, Lynch is going to be hit with a big hefty fine. Raiders RB Marshawn Lynch could be looking at a loss of more than $100,000 for that ridiculous display. First, Lynch is subject to a minimum fine of $30,387 for making contact with an official during that melee. That he came off the bench to join the fight makes him a candidate to be suspended, as well. That would cost him a game check of $79,411. I guess that's what he gets for doing this. Share this if you think that the NFL needs to clean up its act. This is getting out of hand.